Hello guys, what is up? Peter Pony here, and today I have recreated, well, it's not the whole story, but I've recreated the Princess and the Foal by Stacy Gregg. If any of you want to go and check it out, there's a link in the description for where you could find the first little bit of it, and then buy it if you find it interesting. Please do. I read it, it's really good. I've just recreated just the start of it, but when it is completely finished, I will show you all of it. And if there are any spelling mistakes, please leave them down in the comments, because I'm not a very good speller. If any of you, well, none of you really, apart from maybe Pajama Llama, know that I'm a bad speller, really. So we'll get straight into it, and I'll show you it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's go straight into it. So this is it. This is what I have created here before your eyes. It's called The Princess and the Foal, because obviously I had to copy the title because it's really good. Anyway, it's chapter 1. Two lions stand guard at the top of the steep stone stairs. If they had turned their head just an inch, they would have seen the 5-year-old girl who threatened to leap onto their sunburnt backs. Finally, she made her choice and took a great big leap onto the lion on the right's back. The lion bounded forward onto the cobble below. About 20 feet away there is a 5-foot wall. If they could clear that, they would be able to gallop into the Arabian desert. Hyra! Hyra! What is it, Grace? Could you not see that I was in the middle of something? Sighed Hyra. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your father wishes to see you, explained Grace. As Hyra skipped along the empty corridor, her footsteps were echoing as always. The only thing that lives here are all the portraits of the past kings and queens. It was as if they were following her. As she arrived at the king's office, all happy, she saw her own father welling up with tears. Before she found out what was wrong, she comforted her father, saying that she would protect him, like he always said to her. As she found out the news, she herself was in floods of tears. Queen Clarion was in the helicopter when she was on the way to the hospital to see her mother, who was once a beautiful young princess. But this story isn't about the old queen. Anyway, Clarion was in the helicopter and the pilot lost control of it in the storm, and the queen, who was quite young for a queen, fell with it. So that's the first paragraph, and yes, I have copied Queen Clarion from the Tinkerbell series. I hope you guys are all right with that. And like I say, if I have offended you in any way, I'm sorry, but this is just the way that I've been brought up. I hope I haven't offended you or anything, though. Young Hyra didn't believe her father at first, but when she saw the expression on his face, she knew that he was telling the truth, and ran along the corridor. For once she saw the kings and queens as a threat, and zoomed up the pale marble stairs all the way to her room, and hid under her covers, and didn't come back out of her bright pink bed until her father recovered himself and came in to comfort her. From then on, Hyra was so upset that she only talked or even came out of her bed for something to eat, and even then she did not eat much, even her favourite homemade tomato soup. Her father and Allie, her sister, were getting extremely worried about her health. After a year of not eating properly, her father said that he would do anything to get her eating again. Her father said he knew a place where they could go to cheer her up, and she knew straight away where he meant. "Hey, Titch!" called a familiar voice. "Santy!" cried Hyra. They had just arrived at the only place where Hyra felt happy, Alhama's stables. The stables looked like a white Spanish castle. The doors and windows trimmed with bright blue paint. Brilliant red flowers spill out of terracotta pots, and purple vines climb the archways that lead through to the stables. There are 2 courtyards, and the first of these is a drinking pool with blue painted tiles and a fountain in the middle, so the horses can pause in the yard each day to take their fill. The ground around the fountain is as hard as rock, baked by the blazing sun and worn smooth by horses' hooves. The only thing that grows here is an ancient grey-green olive tree, its twisted boughs providing shade in the heat of the day. Around the edge of both courtyards are the loose boxes, hidden beneath the shade of Spanish arches, and inside the loose boxes are horses. The horses at Al-Hama are the most beautiful in all of Arabia. To Hira they are enchanted creatures with silken manes, muzzles soft as velvet, and dark eyes that can see into a soul. "Thank goodness you're here!" shouted Sandy. "The horses have been asking me all morning when you would come." Hira laughed as she walked over to the horses to give them their daily handful of alfalfa. There we go. Of course they were favourites. Jamelia looked like a seahorse with flared nostrils and a wide forehead. Jamelia had a pretty white blaze and a golden mane that hangs down all the way past her shoulders. She has won many ribbons and rosettes because of her beauty. Besides Jamelia is Baha, an elegant freckled grey stallion with enormous brown eyes, rimmed with long black lashes that flutter like a movie star. Baha is aloof. He does not always want to say hello, but Hira persists, holding out a handful of alfalfa until he finally designs to take it from her. The last box that Hira visits is that of her most favourite of all, a mare named Amina. Amina's box is down the driveway in the second courtyard. She is a bay mare with deep red coat and luxurious jet black mane. Black stockings run up her legs all the way to her hocks. Most Arabians have delicate muzzles, but Amina's nose is not so pretty. She is a desert-born Arab with coarser features, a flatter profile, and heavier jaw. Amina is built to jump. She is one of the best jumpers in the stables, fast and fearless. She always dreamed of riding her, but she always had to ride the boring dandy, who is a plain black 12.9 hand pony, with one thin stripe down his long face. "Please, please, please, can I ride Amina?" wailed Hira. "No," said her father firmly. "We have already had one big accident, and we are not having a second." But what the king did not realize that she had ruined her happiness of the stables. But Hira did not come out of the house until Santi found her, just in time for her riding lesson on Dandy, hiding under the wooden table. "But why can't I ride Amina?" sobbed Hira. "Titch, Amina is a big horse, and if a small titch like you falls off her, then could get badly injured, or even worse. Your dad said it in a rather harsh way, but I can tell you that he didn't mean it in that way." Hira started to cry, and she said that she would never be able to ride Amina, but in fact she was not too small at all. Amina was pregnant, but they tried to keep it a secret for as long as they could, so that Hira didn't have any clue what her big birthday present was going to be. So that is it at the moment, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below what your favourite part was. And if I did make any mistakes, please comment down below what the mistakes were. What the mistakes were. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, if you want to go and read the book, I will leave a link in the description to where you could read the first little chapter or page, I'm not too sure. But then if you do enjoy it, then you could go and buy the original version of The Princess and the Foal. And I will read it once it is finished, but that probably won't be for a long time yet. Maybe for my 100,000 subscriber special, maybe I'll read it then, but no one knows. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!